Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV welcoming you on Trending Stories. Yesterday, 1st of November 2024, over 40 children were arraigned at the Federal High Court in Abuja, Nigeria. The federal government arraigned these children for alleged treason and overthrow of government. It's quite unfortunate to behold these children in court. What was the offense of these children? In August 2024, there was a protest in Nigeria tagged End Bad Governance Protest. This protest elicited a lot of concern and was triggered as a result of hunger that is in the land. It's no longer news that things are very difficult in Nigeria. The prices of goods and services have skyrocketed, and unemployment is high, as well as poor remuneration for workers, which triggered a change in the minimum wage. So putting all these things together, the economy was so harsh, even businesses were leaving the country as well. So it was so difficult for citizens to survive. And this led to a nationwide protest tagged Urban Governance Protest. This protest was carried out in different parts of the country, but in some part of the northern states, protesters were seen holding a Russian flag. Therefore, these children whom were paraded in court yesterday were seen to be holding Russian flags, according to the federal government. The point is that these children are underaged. I think the maximum age among them is 14 years. Out of the 45 of them, the maximum age is about 14 years. And then these kids were arraigned and charged for treason. And treason is a capital offense, which end result, will be death, as it were. So the question is, how can these children be planning to overthrow the government? That is the big question. So, in terms of education, the rating in education is low, which means most of these kids probably are not in school. So there's no way they will understand or even know anything that is happening. What they know is that they saw people protesting and they joined the queue. That's what it is. So even the Russian flag, which is even the basis of charging them for treason, the question is, do they even know what flag they are holding? That is the question. Most of these kids were just given flags and they were flying it. They don't even know what flag is that. They don't even know whether it's flag for another country. They don't even understand anything about holding a flag of another different country, during the protests and all that. So they don't know. They are kids. And most of them are not in school, as it were. So they lack knowledge, they lack understanding, they are not educated. And so these are the problems. So this shows that the government itself, who is charging this case for treason, they are failing in their responsibility. Because when you look at the laws of the country, the federal government is saddled with the responsibility to provide basic education for these children, or through the Universal Basic Education Commission. When you look at the UBEC Act, the Universal Basic Education Act, you're going to see that the federal government is saddled to provide basic education for these children, from primary 1 to primary 6, and the junior secondary education as well. So the question is the government doing that? Why are these kids not educated? Why are they not in school? Why are they part of the protest? These are the questions. So the federal government, to me, is indicting themselves as well for not performing their responsibility. Because if these kids are educated, if they are being given Russian flags to foist, they will not do so, because they will understand the implications. They will understand what it means. They will understand that this is not Nigerian flag. Why should we hold this kind of flag in Nigeria? But they are not educated. They are not in school. So whatever that was given to them, they fly it. So is that a justifiable reason to pick up these kids, keep them in detention for 93 days before charging them to court? Nigerian law said that you cannot be held beyond 48 hours. But I learned that there was an order to keep the kids for 60 days. However, the kids were kept for 93 days, that is 3 months plus, before being charged to court. Where were they held? They were not held in juvenile facility. No. So these kids are being exposed to even worse situation. Mixing them up with hardened criminals, mixing them up with adults in prison takes a lot, because they're going to teach them a lot of things they don't know. And which, when they come out, if eventually they come out, they're going to become a threat to the society. They're supposed to be held at the juvenile prison, even if they need to be held. And now the order to hold them has elapsed 60 days, and they were held beyond 60 days, extra 33 days. Unfortunately, the judge on that day granted them bail to the sum of 10 million naira each for these kids. And they're going to need a civil servant that is 1115, who's going to provide his ID, going to send a surety, and all those kind of stuff. The question is, these kids who that look malnourished, these kids that are so dejected that you can see abject poverty around them. Do they have 10 million? If they do, will they be in the protest ground? I don't think so. So for the judge who are so disconscious to look at these kids who were collapsing in court, they look like kids suffering kwashiorkor. And the judge has the temerity, the audacity to grant them bail to the tune of 10 million naira each. So if a judge can grant these kids bail to the tune of 10 million naira each of them, where does he expect them to get the money? These are kids who are living on the streets. These are kids who doesn't even have parents. These are kids who are just out there, begging for alms, trying to survive and all that. And they are the kids that we are granting bail for 10 million naira. That's ridiculous. Where are they going to get civil servant? 15, level 15 and above. Where are they going to get 10 million? Who's going to provide 10 million? 45 of them is about 45 million, 450 million. That's what it is. Where are they going to get it? So, which means they still want to hold them down in detention. And the next adjourned case is January. So they're going to be there November, December till January. All right. So I don't really understand where this country is heading to. And unfortunately, it's going to see the council to the federal government coming out to say that these kids are adults. They are married men. Some of them are graduates. The same kids we are looking at, the same kids that are malnourished, the same kids that are collapsing in court, the same kids, their age has been established as maximum of 14 among them. That's what that council said, that they are married men. They are adults. What's the definition of an adult? The last I checked was when you are 18 years and above, you are declared an adult. Well, did being 13 years or 14 years of age makes you an adult? I don't really understand. And this person is a council, is a legal council. Where is the Nigerian Bar Association? Because there's the kind of things that we don't meant to be seeing. Because this is so pathetic. Now, the federal government of Nigeria, I want to put it to you. Do you think that what you are doing is right? Other countries of the world, they protect their children with their life. Every laws in every other country protects children, protects them to the highest, standard. Why is our case always different? How can you, as federal government, come out and say that these kids are trying to overthrow the government? I mean, how can you think a thing like that? Just because they were holding Russian flag during protests. A flag they don't even know which country, whether it belongs to any country or not. They don't know anything about flag. It may even be difficult for them to identify Nigerian flag. But because they are holding Russian flag, that is the reason that you are charging them for treason. And the kids holding those flags, they don't even know what they are holding. They don't even understand anything. During protests, people come share t-shirts, share this, share that, and people collect, they wear it, whatever is in there, they don't even care. Or they are happy that they got t-shirt, something of that nature. So these kids, somebody just came share flag. I think the DSS should be looking for those who produce the flags and share it. Not these kids. These kids should be in school, for Christ's sake. They should be in school and not in detention center. You just tax somebody treason and you begin to punish the person just the way you want. What is treason? How are they planning to overthrow this government? They even charge them terrorism. But this same government, they will hold terrorists who have been killing people, maiming people. They will hold them, capture them. The next thing, they sew uniform for them and tag them repentant Boko Haram, and they reintegrate them into the system. And then these kids who were just marching during protest, their offense is that they held Russian flag in their hands. They are the kids that we are charging for treason, charging for terrorism, and then putting them in adult prison to mix up with criminals. And you kept them beyond the order that the court gave, beyond 60 days that was given. And you kept them for 93 days before charging them to court. You violated their rights, and you are still violating their rights. As children, don't we have Child Right Act? We have it. So what is happening? I had one of the police, chiefs coming out to say, oh, once you are 7 years and above, they can charge you to court. And I want to ask them, in their conscience, if they tell them that this kid is trying to overthrow the president, what would they say? Do they believe it? Or they just randomly pick people from Kano, from Kaduna, from Zaria, and dump them in prison? This is what the situation is in the country. Many people are languishing in prison for doing nothing wrong, for just walking on the street. They just pack their healers and pack people, even at beer parlors and all that, and dump them in prison. Even their family don't know where they are. And that's the honest truth. They just arrest people randomly. If the economy was good, will people be protesting for bad governance? Will they be protesting against hunger? And this is my first time of seeing Nigeria protesting for hunger since democracy. So that tells you that the country is going backward, seriously going backward. So you can't be maltreating our children in this way? If their own children are in private schools, but these ones are in prison. I don't know where the judge came from to give these children bail of 10 million. Where are they going to get it from? Meanwhile, I'm going to put on the video so that you're going to see what the lawyers are saying, what the counsel to the federal government is saying, and you just oppose what the counsel to the federal government is saying about this case being an adult. However, when a man is, when you look at the two other lawyers behind the counsel to the federal government, the moment he said they were adult, they are married men, they busted into laughter because they were shocked to hear him say that. They were highly shocked. That's why they started laughing. And we were looking at themselves. What is this man saying? Is he kidding me? Is he kidding me? What is he saying? How can he say these kids are adult? They have not been fed. They are malnourished. They have been going through all kinds of torture. No food. See how they are grabbing biscuits? Some lawyers have to put some money together to get them some snack and all that. See how they are grabbing it to tell you what they are going through in the facility where they are kept. So, enough of this human rights violation. Is it really democracy? What is really this democracy? Because I can't really understand. They will tell you have freedom of speech, you have freedom of movement, you have freedom of this, but all those things, we are not seeing them happening. We have known so many journalists who disappeared for publishing something or for sharing facts. They disappear them. They delete them. Some are languishing in detention. Where is the freedom of speech? If democracy is truly what is good for the people, why are politicians who are running this democracy tormenting those who are meant to govern? Why? Globally, same thing. Same thing across the globe. Citizens' rights is shrinking every day, shrinking day by day. Citizens are punished for saying something. They say when you see something, say something. But when people see something and say something, in the middle of the night, they come and pick them up. And nobody will know where they are. Is that what it is? Is that what democracy is all about? Those managing the democracy, looting the government, enriching themselves, while the government are suffering, going through all kinds of pain and hardship and torture from their leaders. Is that democracy? There's no justification to charge these kids for treason. Who educated them? Nobody. Where is the National Orientation Agency? Who are they educating? On what government policies? They don't. Where is the UBEC? Who's supposed to have these kids going through education, free education, for basic education? Where are they? What are they doing? Every year, billions of naira goes to UBEC. And what happens at the end of the day? Nothing. Every day you do budget of how many trillion, and nobody has no feeling of the budget on anybody except the politicians and those in government offices. Government should do better. They should do better. This is ridiculous. This is denting the image of the country. This video has gone viral everywhere. And what about the judiciary? What are they doing? How can the judiciary look at these kids slumping in the court for not have been eating for days, and you are asking them to pay 10 million for bail? And if you recall, the member of House of Reps, House of Representatives of Nigeria, who was assaulting a boat driver, slapping and hitting the guy, they took him to court. The court asked him, gave him bail for 500,000 naira for assaulting somebody. And kids for holding Russian flag during protests were asked to pay 10 million each. So let me put in this video so you're going to listen to its counsel to the federal government. That's somebody's father. How I wish his son is there. I wish he will come out and say what he said. Anyway, let's look at this video. I will be right back.
These are among protesters arrested in several states, including Abuja, Kano, Plateau, Kaduna, Gombe, Katsina, Yobe, Bauchi, Borno, and Jigawa. 76 of the suspects were arraigned before the trial judge, Obiora Igwatu. 4 of them suddenly took ill during the trial. The remaining 72 were admitted to bail in the sum of 10 million naira with 2 sureties, one of whom must be a civil servant. Following a second arraignment, 42 were granted bail after the 43rd suspect also suddenly took ill and was excused. The terms of bail are the same as for the 72 suspects. Until they meet the bail conditions, the adults among the suspects will be remanded at the Kuje prison, while the minors will be at the Boston home. The hunger protesters are accused by the Nigerian government of acting in collaboration with the British National Andrew Wine to destabilize Nigeria.
All of them are adults. Most of them are married men. None of them is a minor. Some of them are university graduates. The small kids you are seeing here, they came with some of their parents to come and greet their loved ones. They are not even the real suspects standing trial in this case. These boys were arrested in Kaduna and Zaria. Imagine the level we find ourselves now. Do you know how much it costs us to be at this level of a democracy in this country? These young boys are trying to destabilize Nigeria using the Russian flags and other countries, calling on the military to remove our president. Is it fair to even remove the state governors that they don't want democracy again? If you don't like democracy, are we forcing you? You go back home and sit.
Justice Egwuatu, was seeing the fainting of these young persons of school age, had to adjourn to stand down proceedings abruptly. We had to rush some of these young children to the clinic within the facility of the court for them to be resuscitated. Some of them are still receiving treatment as I speak to you in the clinic. These young persons has been arrested since the 2nd day of August 2024. Over 3 months, they've been left without clothing, without housing, without proper care. They are looking very malnourished.
Meanwhile, the case has been adjourned to January 24, 2025.
All right, welcome back. You had the counsel to the federal government. You had it. Other sensible lawyers are talking about violation of the human right of these kids, and these kids are not meant to be here. Requesting federal government to, kind of ditch out the case and, dismiss the case on this case and let them go back home to their parents, and so that they can go back to school. But the counsel to the federal government, the NBA, the Nigerian Bar Association, need to look into this counsel. They need to look into him to understand where he got his certificate from, to understand who he is, for him to come out and say the kids of 13, 14 years are adults and they are married and they are university graduates. So they schooled in their womb to become university graduate at 13 years. Except if he's talking of another different people, not these ones we are looking at. Nigerians should focus on, engaging or employing or voting for people that have competence, capacity, and character to turn the country around. It's not about where they come from. It's about who can deliver on what we want. But this nepotism, religion, ethnic bigotry, and all that, this is where we have landed. The vice president, is he not from the north? Was he not there? And they are charging these kids for treason. What did he do? And these kids have been in detention for 93 days. What did he do as vice president? So it's not about the president must come from our place. It means nothing. The judiciary should wake up. They said it's the hope of the common man. These kids are common children. They are not children of the elites. Instead of judiciary to serve them and dismiss the case, they are charging them 10 million as bail condition. So Nigerians, speak up, liberate yourselves, because the way things are going, we don't know where we are ending up. The federal government of Nigeria kindly dismiss this case on this case and return them to their parents. They have suffered enough. Even the extra 33 days they have spent in the prison beyond the order of the court is enough for their bail. Why are you giving them another bail to bring money? It's more than enough for them to be discharged. Where is human rights? All these NGOs, where are you? And the policeman, he says, as if it's his son, in 7 years, he will not go and protect him. He will protect the son. He will swap him for somebody else. But because these are somebody's children, they don't care. They don't give a damn about what happens to them. It's not their own blood. They don't care. You think it doesn't affect you because they are not your children. Your children will be the next. By then, you will speak alone. Nobody will speak with you. We need to wake up. We need to readjust our system. We need to strengthen our system. We need to get things right. We need to do things in the proper way. You can't leave these children to die of hunger in the detention. Look at their bones. Please like this video and share it. And then don't forget, if you are new to my channel, subscribe to my channel. Subscription is free. Just click that subscribe button, all right? And put on your notification so that when my next video drops, you'll be able to, catch a glimpse of it. And I love you for coming to my channel today. I appreciate you. I'll see you in my next video. I'm signing out.